Hi there, I'm Stacey Zimmels, feeding and swallowing specialist speech therapist and doddl's expert partner. In this video, I'm going to be talking about feeding your baby whilst you're out and about. So we've all been through a series of lockdowns, and many of you will be just starting to get out and about with your little ones and thinking about what's required, how to feed them, what choices you might need to make or considerations you need to think about. So the first thing would be what equipment you need to take with you. So are you eating out and about at a friend's house or a picnic or in a restaurant? And if you know where you're going and what the plan is, are you going to be choosing to take and make food with you? Or are you going to be giving your little one food that somebody else has prepared, or choosing food from the menu in a restaurant? Things to consider if you're not taking your own food are going to be the things like salt and sugar that may have been added to foods on menus, or foods that a friend might be preparing if they don't perhaps have a similar age child. I always think it's useful to have a selection of foods as a little bit of a backup if needed. Potentially, if timings aren't going to be working out, your baby gets hungry before a restaurant meal is being delivered or a friend's serving up a meal, but that you could consider choosing off a menu or otherwise. When choosing off a menu, sometimes actually choosing adult foods and sharing some of what you're having and asking for salt not to be added is a better option than some of the children's menus, which can sometimes be quite processed. So they're things to consider. So once you've decided if you're going to just be taking a small amount of food or not versus making your own, then you're thinking about what is helpful, easy food to take with you. Now, I always found it was easier to take food that didn't make a lot of mess. And I think it can be really helpful to take quite a bit of a lot of different foods, because being out and about is quite stressful. The last thing you want is to have made one single meal and then your baby decides, because they're in a new space, in a new place, that they don't want to eat it, and you've got nothing else as a backup because you're not at home and you're stressed or worried about that. So preparing lots of different things can be helpful. Grabbing some leftovers, cutting up some cucumber or some vegetables from last night, some muffins, some handheld foods, that sort of thing, and sort of a selection or a range of those. If you are wanting to sort of give a meal, if your baby's still, say, having pureed food, then there are some really great things that you can buy that will keep the food hot, like a thermos, and then you can just pack up your cutlery as well, if it's going to be food that requires cutlery, or choose cutlery that has its own carry case like doddl, or pack up your cutlery and those sorts of things ready so that you've got everything prepared. Other considerations for eating out and about are going to be making sure that you've got coveralls and bibs, change of top, particularly if you need it, and also if you're doing things like a picnic in the park or you're going to somebody else's house to eat. Have they got a high chair? Or in the park, is your baby going to be okay sitting on the grass, or are they going to crawl away? One of my favourite portable and quite reasonably priced products for weaning on the go is the Summer Infant, I think it's called Sit and Fold chair, and it can be used either as a booster seat or just straight on the floor, and it folds up really small. It's got a carry handle, it's got a tray, so it's brilliant from that perspective. It's wipe downable, really light and really easy and portable to carry around. They are my tips and considerations for you when you're getting started with feeding your little ones out and about the house. So good luck with that.